Right, we're here with Tom, as you all know now.
Hello all.
You've seen things. Tom, first of all, wants to have a quick word with you.
Yes, I'd like to thank everyone, personally, on behalf of my wife, my family, my friends, and myself. You've been absolutely stars, every one of you, to make these journeys up and down the country, and simply to have a festival outside my door. It wasn't, as the press says, a demonstration. It was a festival, and David Caress didn't come to the festival. He was invited, and so was the boys in blue. And they didn't come, they would have enjoyed themselves. But it's been fantastic, everything you did for my family and myself, and I can't thank you enough.
Thanks everybody, thank you so much.
Well, as you've seen, it was on. It's been on almost all the major newspapers now. It was on ITV. I think it was on Sky as well.
It's been on Sky, America Online, MSN. There hasn't been a media that hasn't covered it. Radio, television, all the papers. Even my little hometown, there's a place called, the newspaper's called the Highland News. I believe they had it. Absolutely, Northern Ireland, maybe Southern Ireland, I don't know. Everywhere covered it.
It's also been in all the major newspapers, national and local.
Yeah, it was on Right Stuff, I think it's called.
Yeah, the Right Stuff.
And they said it was the feature of the week, which was amazing. Just one little video, the power of few people, and that's what's upset the banks and the courts and the bailiffs, because you stood up to bullies.
Now, interestingly, on the Right Stuff, it did say that Bradford and Bingley had wiped whatever they alleged you owed off. Is that?
No, they haven't notified me of that, and I don't expect them to, because they can't wipe away something that wasn't there in the first place. So they may well send out an apology. They did that once before, and then they came to my house. But I'm not taking any more flowers or champagne off them.
So what's next, Tom?
Right. I believe the bailiffs can apply for another warrant. And,
Another illegal, fake warrant?
Yes. Well, it wasn't a court, and it wasn't. Nothing actually took place. There was no real court case. There was no warrant, and we've got the paperwork to prove it. And Mr. Ebert, that kind gentleman down in London, the forensic investigator, he's got the paperwork ready for us to put this into court, so we can now take the bank and the court to court, and that'd be a good one.
You know, there is a slightly negative side to this, and that's that all the people in the past that David Caress has thrown out of their houses using fraudulent documents, and to them all, our heart goes out. But hopefully, we're going to bring an end to this fiasco and the corruption.
Yeah, and some of the paperwork I'm using, when I get an opportunity, because I've been really busy, I was hoping to serve the paperwork on the police, and then they could arrest the bailiffs. So I've got to be very careful, and I can only follow what Mr. Ebert's saying. We want to get a petition as well, so there's a proper hearing and take this whole corruption down. But with my paperwork, it may help other people. But I'll put it up at the right moment, because I could give you the paperwork, you would know what it meant. I'll do a feature where I can explain how it's helped me, and how it hopefully can help some. I can't say it.
You can't ask for further than that. So it's still ongoing, we're still fighting, we're still, well, I think we're expecting to win.
Well, we can only, you don't know what happens. They're so corrupt. We already know that they've got PA spin doctors working on it. We've heard some of the programs interviewed by Asset Management. This gentleman, I can't remember his name, but I'm going to put it up so you can all look into him. He's got 9 different companies, all specialises in spinning. He's tried that, but I'm sure he'll put him right.
Now, was he the one that said that you hadn't actually paid your mortgage?
He made a statement and said they'd actually, yeah, we haven't paid our mortgage. We can't remember the word for the actual mortgage agreement. We didn't follow it. We obviously owed money, he thought. But he's totally wrong, and we've got the paperwork to prove it, because that's going into court as well.
That's defamation of character then?
That's a suable offence.
Which I'll look forward to.
I'll call him as a witness, because you can listen to it, because he put it on a radio show which is now national. He can't deny it.
Well, that's going to be interesting then.
Well, it seems to me, fellas, and everybody else, that it seems all the banks are acting fraudulently and magicking money out of thin air.
Well, that's it, but if we start with just this one, bring them down, because we know all the other banks do exactly the same, and if we can get this one sorted, we can sort them all out.
Well, I've got some news for you. A friend of mine called me this morning and he'd seen your video, Tom, and he'd read all the newspapers and he'd seen the Central News TV presentation last night. And he says, I need your help, guys, because it's happening to my mother.
Oh, right.
It's happening to
where
his mother.
is this?
I'm not quite sure. I think she lives in Mapley.
Oh, right. Okay, we've gone to travel far for that.
It's
As
local,
some other
yeah,
people do.
It's local. So,
We'll get round there and say hello to David Caress again.
yeah, so we'll see what we can do for her as well.
Yeah, you'll have to get the name out and the address and get people round. Like
That's with
like
Barclays, by the way.
Well, interesting. Did you know the BBC girl that came round to see you?
Yeah,
She actually was saying that her parents' house had been repossessed.
that's correct. Yeah,
So,
I heard that.
Just shows you it doesn't matter what you do.
That young girl, I felt a bit sorry for her, because everybody jumped on her. She's just a victim, whether it's BBC or the government or whoever. We're all victims. And she's so young just now, she might be saved.
Well, I'm not a victim, because a victim implies you let it happen.
Yeah, that's true.
So
We all did.
we have done in the past, and they've got away with it for so long.
Not
However,
anymore.
there's so many awake now, as showed on Wednesday, and I can only foresee this getting bigger and bigger, the amount of people turning up to prevent this illegal sort of activity by the banks, the courts, the bailiffs, and of course the police.
Well, actually, our neighbours have woken up. They're looking at all the different internet forums and videos on YouTube, and just ordinary pensioners, young people, all neighbours. They're all looking at it, and round our shops here, that's what they're talking about. Why can this happen to a man after paying 25 years and being in the house 26 years? How can you come along? Just in law they can't do it, because under the Human Rights Act they're not supposed to do this.
No. But what I found most bizarre is that the original mortgage was for 41,000,
41,800.
and you paid it for 25 years, and then they claimed you still owed 43,000.
They're good, aren't they?
Oh, hey, if we all had that sort of job, we'd all be laughing. Oh, of course, although it would be causing misery to whoever we were reporting it on.
Yeah, the thing is, the whole thing was fraudulent, right from the start. But that's for another day, and I'll put the paperwork up so everybody sees what they did to me. And I think Brad from Bingley just now are hopping mad because they don't like, they say even bad publicity is good. I don't think this is good.
Not for them anyway. Certainly good for the rest of us.
Yeah, well, people's got to know the truth. And the truth always comes out.
Well, thanks very much, Tom. It's great to see you still in your home.
Well, this is it. I'm here because of people like you and all them.
Thanks,
Yeah.
everybody else. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
We really do love you. Thanks for assisting Tom.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Oh, sorry. Don't know what checking my hand for. Thanks,
No,
Tom.
no.
We love you, man.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.